My last semester, advanced management accounting, we had so many students. Yeah, say 350 evening, and then of course about 200 early morning. So we're looking at really, and of course there are those who follow us through videos only, many students, and virtually all of them, I can talk of all of them, yeah, passed. Of course you can lack a few, 2, 3, who never fail, who never passed, I mean. Ladies and gentlemen, what made those students pass? Number one, I can tell you, those guys were really working with videos a lot. Dennis, don't be here. They worked with videos. They reached a point where they told me, Mwalimu, these low-hanging fruits and whatever, give us videos, and they knew very well how to play those videos at the speed of 1.5. You haven't replied. Faisal, I'll be able to reply. I'm sorry, right now is really a high peak time for us, but we shall overcome. Faisal, you have my number, I believe. When you see I'm not able to respond, Faisal, you pick and call. It's easier that way at times. All right. All right. So number one, these guys were really watching. These guys were really watching videos, and they were active participants in all my meetings. Anytime I would talk about material price variance, blah, 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 they give you the formula, they give you the answer. I mean, I never went to any of my last semester's class with a calculator as a teacher. Secret number two is you have to be an active participant. You can't afford to be proactive, or rather reactive. You must be proactive. Proactive means that you're doing most of the things and giving answers in class. You are asking questions. You are even humorous. You know how to create humor. You cannot afford to be a backbencher and then afford to pass these papers. Trust you me. This examiner, you examiner ni mambo baya. Ukiona the one said these papers, you examiner si mchezo. It is only the very best fit who will be able to do what here to survive. And how do you become best fitted for these? Ensure that you are not a backbencher in these virtual meetings who never talks, who only takes up our numbers, copies everything. They never ask questions. You must get involved and ensure you're attending all classes like that. And then, of course, on WhatsApp is where great things happen. When you do a question like now, the last semester students, I realized these guys were doing questions, they screenshot, they put their proposed answers in the group. And then at the end of the day, after putting the proposed answers in the group, other students were checking what has this student put in. Is this correct? They had a discussion group. They did very well. They did very well. I think this was the very first AMA group that I can talk of, which really had like a 99.99%. Even the students who fail, they'll come and tell me, Mwalimu, you know what? I'm the one who messed. It was not by your mistake. It was not your mistake that made me not to pass. I mean, you did your best. You gave us actually all the 5 questions in class. I never gave them any questions. These guys, they did their very best. And then, ladies and gentlemen, last for this session advisory, ensure that when you go to an exam, never fall in love with few questions. There are students who will always fall in love with few questions. I don't know why. So they'll go, if it's financial reporting, they get, for example, a question on group. And then they start taking 1.5 hours doing one question. If you took more than an hour to do even a single question, I'm so sure you failed. There is a principle you normally use in all of my classes. Do you know that principle? Yeah, which tells you not to fall in love with any single question. We shall be able to attempt all the 5 questions. How do you ensure that you are able to attempt all the 5? I mean, nobody knows that principle. Thank you so much, Cecilia. It is JMO. Just move on. Just move on. Just move on. Just move on, yes. Just move on. So once in this case here, you realize it has hit 37 minutes to 40 maximum. You are on your 40th minute on a particular question, leave that question, go to another question. Nikakwambia hata kwa real life, hii maisha mnasumbuana. Ukiwachwa, wachika. You will never have issues kama ni mtu ambao anaamini vitu kama hizo. Ukiwachwa, hii swali imekushinda, wachana nayo. where attempt your very best, and move on to something different. Move on to something different for you to be able to attempt all papers, all questions. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, all the exams that you attempt, all the questions, you always get to pass, regardless of how tough those exams are. CASNEB is all about attempting all questions, including theories. I normally make my students laugh quite a lot, especially for theories. Even if you're going to use conjunctions and then you keep on repeating questions, or rather your ideas. You say, for example, if it is break-even point is the point at which profit is zero. You come and talk about another point here, like moreover, you use this conjunction. Moreover, it is the point where revenue equals cost. Nevertheless, so it doesn't matter, even if you're speaking the same language and you know how to come up with new points, you're repeating yourself like that. So long as, ladies and gentlemen, your tire is rolling in an exam, you happen in this case to do all the questions, then of course, and you are very active in class, you will be able to do what here to pass. Why do I want you to be very active in class? Nowadays, your examiner is big on these contemporary issues. Most of these contemporary issues, like in management accounting, we have financial reporting, financial management. Most of those contemporary issues, one day you'll get a student coming to WhatsApp and asking something about effect of the Iran and the US war in our economy. A student just comes and jokes like that. There are students who will take him serious and they try doing research, they answer. If you participate in those kind of discussions, and because you guys are many, RCM is a house of many people. So there are many ideas coming up. So long as they are constructive, and you're engaging in them, you're not shying away from them, you will be able to pass very, very easily. Very, very easily. So what am I talking about this evening? Don't come to my class, ladies and gentlemen, and then you have one objective of never speaking the entire semester. No, we shall be able to speak. We shall always speak our mind. Whether we are correct or not, so what? We shall always be very proactive. Now, ladies and gentlemen, will you give me just 5 minutes to go through your course outline? Because I've told you this is my first session, but now today, it'll just be Mwalimu flying over this pretty fast. But I'll be able to give you this syllabus as well. So we have here Advanced Management Accounting. Today we shall not have 8 p.m. classes. 8 p.m. classes will not be there because we're having our prayer day. We have to dedicate some time towards thanking our Lord for whatever results we got, whether positive or negative. We have to pray. We must thank. That's what the Bible tells us. We must be prayerful. So dedicating like 2 hours towards praying, I don't think it's really a bad thing. All right. Great. So then here we are. So this is the course outline. I will take exactly 5 minutes to just show you what is expected of us. It's paper number 16, Advanced Management Accounting. This paper is intended to equip the candidate with knowledge, skills, and attitudes that will enable him or her to apply advanced management accounting tools and techniques for decision making in the context of organizational strategy. So remember, management accounting is all about enabling managers make decisions. Make what we call optimal decisions. So a candidate who passes this paper will be very good with cost estimations. So cost estimations means what here? You must be very good with regression analysis and learning curves. You shall be able to apply advanced management accounting techniques to aid organizational strategic decision making. When we talk of strategic decision making, we are looking at what we call longevity. We don't want RCM to die with the auras and the other owners and all the other stakeholders. We want, when we die, RCM in this case should be there to outlive all of us. And for that to happen, then we must be thinking strategically. Thinking strategically, ladies and gentlemen, is thinking long term. It is thinking outside the box. It is thinking about your competitors. It is doing many, many things. Use financial and non-financial indicators to measure organizational performance. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember financial reporting is a great subject, but now financial reporting only reports the money aspects. Everything is in Kenya shillings millions. Everything is in Kenya shillings, balance sheet in Kenya shillings, P&L in Kenya shillings, statement of changes in equity in Kenya shillings. But when it comes to management accounting here, we shall be looking at both financial and non-financial. Non-financial metrics are, for example, customer satisfaction. Yeah, if I only fix my eyes on the finances alone, then that longevity will not be there. I will not be strategic. Then, of course, you have to apply environmental management accounting concepts in practice. So then we are required, topic number 1, to look at what we call strategic management accounting information. Yeah, how do we ensure that we gather sufficient information to help this organization strategically to really be there in the very long term? Yeah, very, very important. Number 2, we have cost estimation and interpretations. You're going to see here we have ordinary least squares, regression analysis. But it's not like the MA that you guys did. Here we have what we call single regression equations, multiple regression equations, and there is what we call reading of the computer output. Yeah, like the ANOVA, you're going to see analysis of variances, etc. Yeah, computer output. And then, ladies and gentlemen, lastly here, you can see computer output here. We have what we call learning curve models on that topic. That is the last area. Then we have planning and decision making, very, very easy because we tackled most of these things in the MA last semester, although you don't make assumptions here. Here we assume that all of us, we know nothing. We start everything from scratch. So under planning, first of all, remember we plan break even. At break-even point, we know that we are able to cover all our expenses using internally generated revenues. At break-even point, revenue equals who? Cost. So that is why at planning, first of all, we talk about cost, volumes, and how do they relate to this profit? CVP. Yeah, when cost is very, very high, then profit will go down. When volume is very high, profit goes up. Yeah, CVP for single and multiple products. Decision making under environments of uncertainty risk using conditional payoffs and addition what year trees. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, under these, we shall be able to show you how to construct payoff tables and show you what we call the maximaxi, maximini, minimax regret, and then we show you how to draw decision trees, very, very important. Then we have what we call value of perfect information, relevant cost analysis, application of marginal costing. Here we shall not be doing the marginal costing statements or absolute costings, no, application. How do we apply this concept under, for example, key limiting factor? If you remember key limiting factor analysis. Then we have throughput accounting, make or buy decision, continue or discontinue, drop decisions, special order decisions, and other short-term decisions. From there, ladies and gentlemen, we shall be able to go straight away to topic number 4, where we talk about pricing decisions. Remember, one of the functions of these management accountants is to set an optimal selling price. Most of us, including RCM College, we are charging prices without really doing a thorough study. We don't even know how much. I mean, it's not RSM alone, most businesses, because you have to know this product costs you how much in terms of materials, labor, yeah, overheads. So if it is 10, add in this case an appropriate profit margin for it to be able to get a selling price. So under these pricing decisions, of course, you have to look at what competitors are also charging. We should be able to look at what we call external pricing methods, transfer pricing, individualized companies, product life cycle costing, yeah, very, very important. Remember, when you talk of product life cycle, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, has a life, right from research. Yeah, there must have been some research. Then we have a birth. After birth, what do? We expect you to grow. You can't grow forever unless you want to become a giant. So in that case here, after growth, there is a maturity. After maturity, decline, then of course death, and withdraw from this. The same style. All products that we have outside here will always follow some cycle. It's what we call product life cycle. Yeah. Target costing, Kaizen costing, like the one being used by Toyota Japan. The system of what here? Continuous improvement. Remember Toyota Japan? These guys look at the Toyotas that they have produced, not even Toyota alone. Most of these car manufacturers, ladies and gentlemen, they are so good in whatever that they are doing. I remember my very, very first car. I've not bought many cars since I was born. Was a 504, the old. This vehicle was heavy, metallic. I'm so sure I never got into an accident, but I'm so sure if I was to knock anybody's car on the road, somebody will think it's a lorry that has hit them. It was pure metal, pure steel. I mean, may not be steel, but I mean, it was heavy. But these people, because they believe in the aspect of continuous improvements, to be able to earn increased profit, what do they do? What they shall do, they keep on doing research and development. We have any other type of materials that we could use, which still will make these vehicles durable. They'll be able to move on the road, but I mean, they don't have to really use this metal. Look at the kind of materials they are using for vehicles nowadays. These are like plastics. That is why the other day, I mean, I saw somebody in this case here what their vehicle knocked. It was a lady. I'm sorry to say this. Yeah, lady. I mean, just a small lock like this, and the entire bonnet was out. And this lady was outside there crying. I mean, wailing, saying, "My husband, my husband, my husband." You see, it's not because she has entered into a big accident. It's because of this Kaizen continuous improvement. We'll be surprised these people in the next 20, 30 years, maybe they'll be producing vehicles using nylon. Because then they believe in continuous improvement. That is what we call Kaizen. Yeah, it is a total quality management system. All right. So Kaizen, it is wrong for us in whatever that we are doing. Believe that we are the very best. I cannot say that I'm the best in AMA. I'll be cheating myself. If I say that I'm the best, it means automatically that I'll not be improved. I'll not be improving. I'm not using Kaizen. Kaizen says that you are nothing. And even the nothing that you know it wrongly. Keep on researching. Keep on being your very best to improve. There is always room for improvement for everybody. That's what we call Kaizen. Remember, management accounting, strategic management accounting is all about longevity. And for us to be there in the long term, ladies and gentlemen, then we must always be very innovative in whatever that we do. I remember very well when we used to have just physical classes in Nairobi. Yeah, physical classes in Nairobi, Stanbank, Westlands. We even used to have a branch at 𝗖cie teaching English language. Yeah, when COVID hit us, we thought it was the end of the life. But we innovated. We came up with these online systems. And of course, everything is history. The kind of numbers we have, I'm so sure if we never innovated, RCM would have died long time ago. So basically, that means that RCM also you're using this strategic management accounting because we must keep on innovating and coming up with new things for us to be able to reach that section that we call blue ocean. Blue ocean. Blue ocean is that section where you don't have what here, you don't have any competition. All right. So strategic performance measurement, again, we shall be measuring performance using ratios quite a lot. So under this, we shall be looking at what we call functional and divisionalized organizational structures. Yeah. We have responsibility accounting and responsibility centers and segmental reporting. Is there anybody who is able to remember responsibility centers from your management accounting? Anybody who is able to remember the various types of responsibility centers that we have? Just to jog your memories a little bit. Responsibility centers, if you don't mind. Just examples of a responsibility center. Let me remind you. For example, we have a cost center. We have a profit center. We have an investment center. Cost centers are those departments that are landlocked. Those departments like manufacturing, departments like maintenance, internal maintenance departments. Those departments that do not have access to external revenues. They don't have any external customer. They've never earned a coin of their own. They only incur costs like that. Just like, for example, RCM, we normally make tea for our teachers. So that kitchen over there, it will basically be a cost center because we don't sell any tea to anybody. So then in this case here, the manager of that kind of a kitchen will only be responsible and accountable for the costs incurred. So shall only be pursuing cost minimization and of course ability for them to meet their objective. Walimu wameshiba, sawa. How about a profit center? So profit center, you are accountable for both revenue and the cost because you as a profit center, you are in touch with the external customers. You are able to sell your goods outside there. So you become a profit center. So you'll be responsible for revenues and costs. So we shall be evaluating your performance using profits. How about an investment center? An investment center is a profit center, first of all. You can't be investing losses. You must be a profit center. But now here, you have powers to buy long-term assets. You have power to invest in assets as a manager. That's an investment center. So then in that case, you shall be able to appraise your performance in terms of the returns being gotten by those assets you're investing in, like return on investment, return on assets, those various types of ratios like that. All right. So strategic performance measurement, responsibility accounting, responsibility centers, and the segmental reporting like IFRS 8. For those of you who are doing financial reporting, you'll be able to see IFRS 8, ladies and gentlemen, where basically you are being told to report on segments. If it is RCM, what are our segments? We can segment organization product-wise. So we produce a P&L for the CPA students. We produce a P&L for the ACCA students, blah, blah. All right. Then we have here divisional performance measures such as, these are now the ratios: profit margin, asset turnover, return on investment, return on capital employed, residual income, accounting rate of return, economic value added. Then we have non-financial performance indicators. Non-financial performance indicators like customer satisfaction, employee morale, because if your employees are demotivated, you will not be able to do very well. We have alternative performance measures such as the famous balance scorecard, performance pyramid, Fitzgerald and Moon building block model. Then we shall be able to go to inventory. From your lower management accounting inventory, I'm so sure the only thing you're able to remember is the formula of EOQ, economic order quantity. Is there somebody who is able to jot something down there on economic order quantity? Anything that you can remember about EOQ? Anything you can remember about EOQ? Why am I reading this? Because I want you to have a high level overview of the entire subject. It's always good for you to shoot into the light on what you're able to see. So at least there is somebody who is able to remember that there is what here? Is it a square root? Somebody who is able to remember that we have a square root somewhere. At least Chalo Okunzo is able to remember holding cost, carrying cost. MW is able to remember ordering cost. Thank you so much. There is a square root of 2 equal over HCE. Twice annual demand times ordering cost over holding cost. Thank you so much. Assumptions. You guys are able to remember so much. For advanced management accounting, now we shall be looking at what we call probabilistic inventory models, the stochastic inventory models. With and without stock out cost, very, very important. We have margin analysis for perishable stock items, application of simulation models in inventory control, application of strategic management decisions in inventory control. See this, strategic. So we have the concept of just-in-time purchasing. Remember, just-in-time purchasing is where you procure your raw materials for immediate usage. So if you have a hotel, you simply have an order from a customer. A customer wants to eat fresh sukuma wiki. You connect with a farmer. He brings you sukuma wiki just in time for immediate cooking. Be cooked. So just in time, we don't believe in stores. We don't believe in warehouses. All right, very, very important for you to be able to pick that from the very word go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after that, we have here, application of simulation models in inventory control, application of strategic management decisions in inventory control, just in time, purchasing, ABC analysis, and material requirement planning, the famous MRP. Then we have number 7, which is the second last topic, budgetary control techniques. So we have applications of budgetary control systems. We have top-down systems. So under top-down, we have the top management coming up with their budget, and then they force it to us as employees deep down our throats. Mtadu, even top-down. So they don't use any participatory systems. Then we have what we call bottom-up. Bottom-up, now this is where you involve everybody. Every department is involved. You tell these departments to put down their budgets. And then you consolidate the entire budget for the organization. And then they bring this up to the directors now. So directors, of course, will review. And then, of course, you make a few changes for you to have a budget, which now everybody will be proud of. And when you go to our past papers, you'll be able to see that whatever I'm discussing here is really very applicable. You'll be able to see questions regarding that. We have rolling budgets. So one day I remember somebody was asked about rolling budgets in an exam, and then this ninja said it's that budget which rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls without stopping. No. A rolling budget, ladies and gentlemen, is any budget that is most updated with current periods. It is that budget which is always 12 months ahead. So if you do a budget for 2027, 12 months, 2027, no worries. Then, of course, you clear 2026. Now you go into implementing the 2027 budget. When you clear January 2027, you remove this January of 2027 from your budget, and then you prolong now your budget to cover January 2028. So you keep on removing an old period, you add a new period. That is rolling we are talking about. And the rolling budgets, ladies and gentlemen, because you keep on updating your budgets with new periods, where the old period is exhausted, you'll always have a budget that is most recent, which has got most recent prices, etc. Is there anybody who can tell me what a zero-based budgeting is? What is a ZBB? Anybody who has an idea? Thank you so much, Lucy Joy. Thank you, Felista. What is a ZBB? Zero-based budget. From the word zero-based budget. Yeah, and I'm so happy because I can see students have already known that 2027, we shall be having a new syllabus. And this new syllabus is going to be crazy because there are so many changes. So many students now who are coming to the advanced level, they know that they have got 2 bullets in August and December. So they would want to strive maximally to finish, in this case here, at least the 5 papers. So even if now in 2027 they'll be doing any paper, it shall only be like the exit paper, PDA. All right. And so I can see there is a very big enrollment. Yeah. So it is a budget prepared starting from scratch. We don't make reference to last year's budget. Yeah. So under zero-based budget, every budgetary item must be justified. We look at the benefit of each of these activities must outweigh the cost. So you must justify why we should give your activity a budgetary allocation. And remember now, everything we are preparing from scratch. We're not going to make reference to last year's budget. When you make reference to last year's budget, then, ladies and gentlemen, what would that mean is that you have what we call an incremental budget. You say last year we had 2 trillion. So this year, like Kenya, now we are lazy. We talk about what year? 3 trillion. So we keep on increasing. like that, without really even looking at whether some of these things were provided for, we had allocated budgets for last year, were they really used efficiently? No, no, that is called incremental. Thank you so much. But ZBB, we don't refer to last year's budget. Everything shall be prepared in this case here from where? From zero. Everything to be prepared from zero. Everything to be prepared from zero. From zero. Now, ladies and gentlemen, from there we continue. All right. So then we have the concept of variances. Again, we shall be meeting variances here, but a bit advanced, not like those ones that we are doing in management accounting. We shall be talking about operating, and planning variances. Operating and planning variances. Operating and planning what here? Variances, like that. Advanced variances, planning operational. Application of those learning curves is so up there, and ABC in variance analysis, investigation models for variances. Then we have number 8, environmental management accounting. Role of accountants in managing and accounting for environmental cost. Use of management accounting techniques in identification and allocation of environmental cost in flow, outflow analysis, flow cost accounting, environmental life cycle costing, and environmental activity-based costing. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Once we cover those great 8 topics, we shall be ready for us to do what here? We shall be ready for us to get a pass. And without much ado, I would want now to go to topic number 1. Some of you, of course, we have done this topic together, but we said that time ulikuwa na ngoja exams zitoke. Sasa ndio sasa kuna maneno. Sasa ndio kuna maneno sasa. So mnialau nianze mwanzo kabisa tafadhali. Yeah, which budget is appropriate to be used in high school? Of course, in a high school, in Kenya, generally, we use incremental. There are very few organizations I've done consultancy for myself, which are using zero-based budgeting or even rolling over budgets, very few. If you start doing that, you really get into problems because that work will be very, very hectic. Because under zero-based budgeting, you have to call out for fresh bids. You must place tenders on the papers. You get suppliers giving you fresh information. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. All right, a lot of work. It needs those companies that have got a full budget department. The syllabus, yeah, I would have forgotten actually. So it contains all the subjects of CPA. So you should be able to just print those subjects that concern you. All right. So have you seen the syllabus that I've shared? Have you seen the syllabus that I've shared? Thank you so much. So then I shall be able to continue pretty fast. So we go straight away to the first topic. For those of you who have never met this Chief Ninja, my name is Dr. Joshua Aura. I teach at RCM College. And of course, RCM College is the best college in East and Central Africa. So if you would want to study with us, these are our numbers: 0793 555 000. You should study in a college that will be able to afford even to put it on your CV. Yeah, when you put on your CV, somebody will be able to say, hey, I know this college. With the kind of publicity we are doing online and the kind of good work we are doing, we are really known outside here. I doubt whether today you can go to any accounting office, you meet somebody who knows RCM, or even you meet somebody who doesn't know. You get people who know, for example, this CPA Chief Ninja. Very good. So I'll be the one taking you through this advanced management accounting, the evening class, the 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then there is an error. There's an error somewhere. There's an error somewhere which we must bring it out today. Otherwise, we shall not be able to harmonize very well. AMA is supposed to be taught thrice a week. Wednesday, 6 to 8. Saturday, 6 to 8. Then Sunday, 6 to 8, thrice. When I checked your timetable, I don't know what happened. That must have been a big error. Your timetable is missing the Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m. class. So you shall be able to rectify that. So please have that in mind as you plan your semester. There's supposed to be 3 classes. Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. As we prefer all the computational papers to be held thrice. We prefer all the computational classes to be held thrice. Definitions, management accounting. So, ladies and gentlemen, we know that management accounting really is the process. It's a process, yeah. It's a science. A science that will be able to give information to management. And this management will use this information to do 3 key things. There are many things, but 3 key things that the managers will be able to use this management accounting information for. It is to plan, it is to control, and make decisions. Make decisions. So we have there, management accounting is the process of preparing and providing financial and non-financial information to managers to help in planning, decision making, and control of business activities. So remember, like financial reporting, here we are talking about financial and non-financial information, which takes me to this joke which I normally make here of some young ladies who will come and tell me that, Mwalimu, you know what? For us, it is money that is the end to most of these things. That money is everything. That I would rather be crying in a Mercedes-Benz every day. So long as in this case here, it's a Mercedes-Benz, I have money Range Rover. No. If you ask some of the ladies here who have seen things, who have seen life, they'll tell you that we have respect. We would rather, after all, I mean, even as a good lady, I mean, you also have your money, or you're striving to get your own money, right? So you'd rather have, in this case here, somebody who respects. Respect is non-financial, but very, very important. So for us in management accounting, we shall be looking at financial and non-financial information. Financial and non-financial information. Classes are going on. I'll be able to address that in a few minutes. I'm sorry for that. I'll be able to address that. All right. So you look at financial and non-financial information. So when you'll be looking at the appraising of investments, and now here you are appraising, for example, a man who wants to marry you, right? You should not consider money alone. If it's management accounting, you cannot consider money alone. There are non-monetary aspects which are very, very important. So perhaps this person is saved. He may not be having too much money, but he has salvation with him. Ladies who are in the house, is that a factor or that is a non-issue? Ladies who are in the house, salvation, is it a factor or a non-issue totally? Please talk to me. Please talk to me. It's a factor, yeah. All right, it's a factor, great. So it's non-monetary. Both are important, okay. Nalima fears poor people, great. A big one, yeah, great. It's a factor, yes, great. So it's non-monetary, but very important, and that is what management accounting is for you, because management accounting is about strategic. Strategic, yeah. Management is all about what you're thinking about the firm being there in the future. So we are going to process, or rather, it's a process of preparing and providing financial and non-financial information to managers to help in planning, decision making, and control of business activities. Then we go to strategic management accounting, SMA. Strategic management accounting is the use of management accounting information with a long-term and outward-looking focus. You know, if it's management accounting strategic one, it must be a long-term and it must be outward-looking, especially by considering competitors out there, market's behavior, strategy to support sustainable competitive advantage. So the question will be, how do I become very competitive outside here? How do I become very competitive outside here? To become very competitive, I must think long term. When I'm thinking long term, ladies and gentlemen, please listen. I will not be the one who will be sacrificing training my employees. There are many organizations when it comes to training of employees, they look at the training budget and they say, no, we're not training. Of course, you'll be able to save that money in the short term, increase your profits in the short term, but long term, you'll be having fools working for you. And fools cannot be able to take you very far. So there are things in management accounting that you'll be looking at. All right. For you to be able to have this organization having a big competitive advantage outside there, a firm that will be outstanding outside there. Look at a firm like Safaricom. I told you this in the last class. Safaricom, I remember the Right Honorable Odinga. All right. Sometime back, he came and told us, resist Safaricom, resist Brookside. When he told us to resist Brookside, most of us in this case were looking up on him. We for sure resisted, and Brookside's revenue went down by over 50%. On the same year, most organizations were really affected, the ones that were named by that particular coalition that time were really affected. But Safaricom that were being urged to also resist, their revenue went up by more than 10% that very year. Why? Because Safaricom has a competitive advantage. Safaricom is already playing in this blue ocean. You know, when you look at the ocean at the very yonder, inside there, it's blue sky. But around here near the shore, if you look at the sky, it's quite dirty, right? Because there are people who are playing here, there are sharks here. So if it's competitors, there's too many here. But once you get deep inside, that is a place where you have competitive advantage. Then, ladies and gentlemen, you have a long-term focus. Yeah. And that is why you realize Safaricom, I mean, they don't play around even with their competitors. They always want to get like miles ahead, because if you go to Safaricom, they have management accounting departments. All right. All right. Most of these small firms, like our firms, ladies and gentlemen, they don't have, in this case here, management accounting departments. We're only concerned with financial reporting, financials, money, money, money. And that is why most of us, when something small happens, a small shock in the global space, like now increase in fuel prices, yeah, we are really affected. Some firms will be getting out of business totally because they were not thinking outside the box. If you look at those companies that are thinking about long-termism, which have outward-looking motives, they are doing crazily great things. Look at, for example, 𝗖ABL. 𝗖ABL, I remember some time back, they engaged our organization to do agronomics for them. So doing agronomics for them, basically, agronomics is the science of studying a business's products, see how they can be tailored to fit needs of disadvantaged groups. So for example, as RCM, we were able to come up with a product where people are blind can, for example, come and learn, and then they become very good accountants. Then automatically be said to be doing very well in terms of agronometry, agronomics. So 𝗖ABL on that very time, in that very time, they wanted to know why women, although I don't consider women to be disadvantaged, I've never understood even why they are being put together with youth and people who are enabled differently. I've never understood. But in that time, 𝗖ABL wanted to know why women were not taking their products. So we did some simple research, questionnaire. Whenever you got a lady out there drinking a soda who never had an attitude, you know, there are ladies at times they can be having a few attitudes. So this lady is sober. So we were asking them simple questions. Why are you not drinking 𝗖ABL products? They told us when we tried drinking 𝗖ABL products, they were very bitter. Since 2011, for those of you who imbibe something, you know that they started bringing in quite sweet beers. Is there somebody who can give me an example of a sweet beer here? Please give me an example of a sweet beer. Give me an example of a sweet, without fearing. We're here to learn. I'm so sure you guys are saved. You don't take beer, but I mean, we read these things on the news when they're advertising them. We read them. We read them. So Coca-Cola is not a beer, Joseph. You're cheating me. That's cider. The cider, yes. Cider. The cider, yes. I've never heard of Manyata. Guinness Smooth. Can it be sweet? I don't know. Pilsner is not sweet. You guys, you're not understanding this topic. The pineapple punch, yeah. So now you can imagine, because of that, now EABL was able to get newer customers. Guarana, they were able to get new customers. That's how you open yourself into new businesses. When you start opening yourself into new markets, new businesses by producing new products, then we say you are thinking strategically. You shall be there in the long term. Yes, Savannah, yes. You shall be there in the long term. There are students, and these are senior students who are working for companies here. They also have their own companies here, but they don't produce any new products. They don't produce any new products. They're ever stuck with one product like that. Those are useless companies which are not thinking strategically. Those ones will not go anywhere. I would want to urge, even as RCM, like now this year, we've introduced what we call CCP. Yeah. Certified Credit Professional. We keep on introducing. You can see, ladies and gentlemen, we have now introduced the very best studios. Have you guys seen our studios? Have you seen our studios? I think we have the best studios. Have you seen our studios, ladies and gentlemen? Paulina has seen our studios. I mean, I'm even, for purpose of teaching this session, I'm even forced in this case here to show you our studios here. Yeah. Now we have RCM. We started it just like a joke. RCM radio, RCM podcasts. I mean, we must. I'll be able to share with you this one here so you can get to watch it later on. Because if you're thinking strategically, you must be looking at the future. So, for example, like right now, you've been able to interview two waheshimiwas, and they're paying handsome to be interviewed. They're paying handsomely to be interviewed. We have been able to interview the speaker, Kakamega County, RCM Radio. Just a minute. I'm giving you these great stories because I want you to get outside there and develop great businesses. Develop great businesses. Sitaki tunapatana nawe after mwaka moja, mwaka mbili, huna chochote. Hapana. Because right now in this environment of social media, I mean, there is enough for everybody. So long as you're a bit crazy, you don't have to be very normal 100%. Just have to be like, I don't care, just a little bit. Then you will be able to overcome big time, to think strategically. That is the essence of this subject. To think strategically. All right. So Control V. So confirm whether you've been able to see some link there. I don't want you to open that link now. I would want you to open it later. I would want you to open that link later. But if you open it, just to be able to see, for example, ladies and gentlemen, what we're talking about. It's a high-end podcast. High-end podcast. You can just open a little bit. You can give us a feedback. And of course, if you have a story to tell, that is the best platform for you, but you're not coming there for free. I have to warn you, that's a revenue stream for RCM. All right. We forgot one thing. We must be having some Muslim students around here, isn't it? Do we have any Muslim student? Do we have any Muslim student? They normally pray. Yeah, Pauline is a shareholder. Great. Great. Do we have any Muslim student? If we have some Muslim students, it will be very important for us to be taking a break at exactly 6:50. Yeah, when it hits 6:50, you shall always tell me. But for this one, because we have prayers coming up, today I would want to continue and then end the class a bit earlier, right? Yeah, RCM now will be international. Yeah, we are really trying our very best. My wish is that before I retire, say in about 5 years, RCM should be a university, and Aura and core, our auditing firm, should really be top notch up there. We should talk of big five, big five. So if you want to do the 5 units all in the morning, can it be possible? No, no. Some have to be done in the evening. Or you rely on videos. Are you teaching AFM? We have Teacher David. Teacher David teaches the 5 a.m. class, and then he teaches the 8 p.m. class. I only teach in this case here the 6 p.m., 8 p.m. class for AFM. I'll come to air my journey of CPA grade. So if you want to join my class, you will simply come to the 6. But the very best, let me tell you something. AFM is not like the financial management lower level there. AFM, it will be important for you to attend all the classes. If you can attend all the classes, it will really, really be very advantageous for you. So if you have, for example, a student who is here, who was in AFM last semester, they'll tell you they were attending Teacher David's class, they were attending my class, the better, the better, the better, because AFM is quite a heavy paper. Now, you guys are distracting now you're distracting now my line of thought. Allow me to finish, and then I'll be able to come back to those videos not being uploaded. I'll honestly answer all those questions. But before that, please allow me to just finish my concept here. So strategic management accounting is the use of management accounting information with a long-term and outward-looking focus, especially by considering competitors, markets, and strategy to support sustainable competitive advantage. 1.1 as per your syllabus, sources of strategic management accounting. Where do you get your strategic management accounting information from? Internally here, from our budgets, cost records, performance reports, financial statements. 2, external market trends, how are competitors doing, industry benchmarks, economic data. You'll also be able to get this strategic. If you want to go very far, you must be able to listen to the ground. I know that's a political thing, but really that is really, really, really applicable for businesses that would want to go miles ahead of the rest. So you must be able to listen to your customers. You must be listening to what government is saying, technology trends, etc. All right. So sources of strategic management accounting information internally, we have our budgets, our cost records, we have our financial statements, our performance reports. Externally, outside there, we have information from our competitors, industry benchmarks, economic data from Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, other customer feedback. We must be able to get information from government, technology trends, etc. Role in strategic planning and control. What is the role of advanced management accounting in strategic planning and control? Please listen to me. This great subject of ours helps in setting long-term goals. Long-term goals. Want to be the very best college in the next 20 years. So you need a strategic plan. It guides resource allocation to profitable areas. So remember, as you keep on coming up with new products, you will be able to realize that you've got some dog products. Dog, you know what is a dog? This dog, of course, dog in asante, right? So when you realize that you've got some kind of a dog of products here, it's good you get to divest away from them. Pick your investment there and channel it towards those products now which are highly profitable. And this is what AMA will be guiding you to do. It will guide resource allocation to profitable areas. It will provide performance measures because you want these employees to even compete amongst themselves in the company. Want departments to compete amongst themselves in the company, because at the end of the day, when performance is being appraised, everybody will be on their toes to do their very best. What kills most of these organizations, ladies and gentlemen, here is risk. There are so many dangers outside here. And that is why you need a strong subject like management accounting to support risk management and cost control. There is no way you'll be able to tell me that you want to be there in the long term and you're not controlling cost. You shall be good in terms of cost control. Very good. Even in our personal lives, we shall be very good in terms of personal cost control. I gave you this example. Sometime back here, a student passed. They passed, in this case, a group of students, and they love me quite a lot. So when they pass, they think I'm their age mate, which is very, very good. They make me feel young, very good. So they told me, Mwalimu, come here. Is it Quavers or Quivers? I don't know. Thika Road. So I went there. So these guys ordered a few things here and there, which they take, not which I take. Then I realized one of the products they bought, everything came like to a standstill. Even the DJ now was looking our way. I mean, I even wondered. The bottle was being brought by very many ladies, like 6 of them, carrying placards like this. So, I mean, I thought maybe it was somebody who had a birthday, but oh, I was so wrong. These guys had bought amongst those expensive alcohols. When it came to paying a bill later on, this ninja was paying over 40,000. Then I wondered, this ninja, I mean, you are financially literate because you're not looking at your longevity. Who are you trying to impress? You're not in this world to impress your teacher. You're not in this world to impress your girlfriend. No, you want to be there in the long, be there in the long term. You need to, I mean, be able to create wealth. How do you create wealth? Through post minimization. And this is what management accounting is about. So is there somebody who buys those expensive things? I suppose no. I suppose no. And I'm not saying when you call me in this case here for lunch, now you start buying me very very cheap things, because I'll give you as an example. IV is saying life is for the living. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Me, I like saving maximally. And that is why I'm a very good. If you go to 𝗲𝗲𝘃𝗃, if you go to 𝗲𝗲𝘃𝗃, I'm among the top savers. If you go, for example, to CIC, I'm among again the big guys there with in this case here, money market fund. All right. And because I knew, ladies and gentlemen, because I knew how to do what, because I knew how to save from a tender age, I've been able to do quite a lot. And out of humility, if, for example, I was even able to show you my house, which I built when I was 28 years old. I mean, I'm also crazy. I mean, I think that time, maybe that is the time when I was doing best. I don't know whether now I can build this kind of a house. If I just swab around, just for purpose of showing you just a few things here, I need to take this a bit down. Yeah, you'll be able to see, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it will cost, I don't know how much this will cost today. It's because I knew how to save, in this case here, from a very humble age. And I knew how to select my friends. I'm not that kind of a person you can call that mwalimu. Sasa kuja hapa hapana, sina hiyo time. Because kama ni majioni, mimi niko wapi? Kama ni majioni. This year when Lima, I did this when I was 28 years old. Now I'm 47 years. Now I'm 47 years. I'm 47 years. So kuna housewarming hii ilikuwa warmed kitambo. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, and that is really what management accounting is about. In this economy, I can't build. Yeah. Problem hapa ni kwamba unapata sasa mtu wako 30 something, 40 something, hata hajui money market fund na waka namna gani. Yeah, sababu hujajua about management accounting. We need to really do what we call cost control. Yeah, cost control. And of course, I know, ladies and gentlemen, most of you will say that, like what Ivy is telling me, that life is for the living. Life is for the living. You see, at this lower age, you would rather save maximally. When you reach, in this case, ladies and gentlemen, now my age, now you can be able to do what you have to do, whatever you want. Because now you have some resources. But at that tender age, don't waste your time, don't waste your resources. Right now, I mean, for example, I'm a member of the Capital Club. Yeah, Capital Club, we are paying $1 million a year. I'm a member of some golf clubs here. So you build this polepole. Usikuwe kwa ile time unajua unapata mtu umeandikwa tu kazi namna hii, umenunua one of the best vehicles around. A Gazla, all right? No, that is not me. That's not me. That's not me. Mimi napenda na develop kwanza, utafika level ile mahali unajua, for example, kama mimi sasa my money market fund, even if I was to be sacked today, even if I was to be fired today, I'm so sure what I get from my money market fund every month, it can sustain me forever. 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 All right. Yeah, that is what we call management accounting. Management accounting. Cost control. So governance and the cost control. I'm almost finishing, by the way. So governance and the control of information. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are living in what we call a data sensitive era. Whatever data, whatever information you have here regarding people, regarding companies outside there, that data has to be protected very well. So then governance and the control of information around this, as a management accountant, you'll be getting access very sensitive information from your employers here. But now when you have management accounting systems, governing and controlling this information becomes very easy, because these MA systems will ensure accuracy, reliability, and timeliness of data. It protects against misuse of sensitive information. It promotes accountability through proper reporting systems, and it aligns with corporate governance rules. Because corporate governance is all about directing and controlling a company. When you have management accounting information being used very, very well, then in terms of corporate governance, we shall be said to be doing very, very well. Shall be said to be doing very, very well. All right. Then we have, ladies and gentlemen, 1.4, scope and limitations of this great subject of ours. So the scope, we shall be doing lots of costing. When we start doing this topic number 2, from topic number 2 to the very last topic, you'll be seeing lots of costing: material cost, labor cost, overheads, variable overheads, fixed overheads. What is the talk? There'll be a lot of costing. There'll be a lot of budgeting here. There'll be a lot of variance analysis. There'll be a lot of strategic decision support, pricing, make or buy, investment appraisal. There will be a lot of performance measurement and the controls here. Limitations of the subject. Then, of course, we know that this subject has a lot of estimates. All those costs are estimates. So it's based on estimates and assumptions. So whatever you have there may not be very realistic, can be time consuming and costly. Relies heavily on quality input. What here? Data, it's GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. May not capture qualitative factors effectively. So you see these qualitative factors like employee morale. We are saying that in management accounting, for longevity purposes, for being strategic, we have to measure financial and non-financial information. But you see this non-financial information, like employee morale, how customers are satisfied, this is really qualitative. Even if you try to place a number, that number will be very, very subjective. It depends on who is quantifying. So may not capture these qualitative factors very effectively. From there, ladies and gentlemen, the last section here, 1.5 as per your syllabus, is what we call the ethical standards for management accountants. When we talk of ethics, there are normally 5 standards for all accountants, not just management accountants alone. These 5 standards, ladies and gentlemen, are which ones here? I know you know them. We have, for example, a whole standard on integrity. We have a whole standard on confidentiality, a whole standard on objectivity, a whole standard on professional competence and due care, then professional behavior. Integrity, we are required here to be very honest. Accountant si mtu mwongo. Unafikiria tu story tu, mtu akianza story huko na kitu ya kuongea kila mahali. Ukiona mtu akona kitu ya kuongea kila mahali, ukianza story ya meli, yeye yako hapo. Ukianza story ya nini, yako hapo, mtu ni mwongo. Accounting is not like that. We shall always put everything, ladies and gentlemen, on top of the table. There are no cards under the table. No. Men of integrity, men and women of integrity. When we talk of confidentiality, just like this data protection thing you've studied up there, we are going to come across lots of confidential information. We shall never disclose that information to third parties without, of course, approval from these parties here. Confidentiality. Huwezi kuwa wewe ni accountant, and I'm sorry kama umekuja mpaka this level unafanyanga vitu kama hizi. So you're an accountant, somebody in this case here comes to your desk asking for an advance, and then of course after you provide that advance, Then you go and start talking to your friends that, you know what, Mr. So and so is an advanced person. On Friday was here. Monday now is here. No, no. You shall always hold such sensitive matter in confidence. Usione kama unaumwa ndani kama hujaongea. If that happens, then you are not meant to become an accountant. Perhaps you are meant to become a pastor or something different. Even a pastor, I mean, a lot of confidentiality. Accountant si mtu wa kuongeongea sana. Yeah, yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, then we have in this case here objectivity. You see, at the end of the day, whatever we are doing, there will be people who will try to push us to some position. Yeah, you'll go to audit like myself, I'm an auditor. So you get directors telling you, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? So you shall avoid any stuff that can make you to be biased. We want you to be very objective. And for you to be objective, you must be very independent. You must be very independent. Independent. Very, very important. Then you have professional competence is about lifelong learning. Being a student forever. You shall be a student forever. So even after you become a member of 𝗲𝗲𝗃, I will tell you, first of all, there are the 𝗲𝗃 trainings there, and then I will ask you, I mean, if you have done your ecom, I'll be asking you because I'm your academic father. I'll be asking you, when are you doing your masters? And if you're doing your masters, are you going to do this traditional now masters is MBA accounting? No, things have changed. I'll ask you, I mean, why don't you do MBA in artificial intelligence? Yeah, because now things are changing pretty fast. Things are changing pretty fast. All right. So we have professional competence. It's when you're competent that you'll be able to take care of your customers, because it's professional competence and due care. And then our professional behavior is how do you carry yourself outside there? Are you a person who will be stealing from their customers? Professional behavior tells us that we shall always behave in a way that gives our profession credibility. Credibility. Which reminds me of somebody who is an 𝗖𝗂𝗃𝗃 member. This guy went and had one for the road, and it became too many. One became too many. Was wearing the 𝗖𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃 tag. So he went and fell in some ditch. And then automatically, of course, it was rainy. Yeah. So in that particular situation, camera people came and they were able to, I mean, capture a video of him. And this thing now went to social media, and the people up there were not happy. So 𝗖𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃 was now to make a decision whether they should strike him off the register as a member, because now it's discrediting. That is bad behavior. And then now there was a heated debate. People were saying, no, you cannot remove this guy from the register of accountants simply because of a food. They were saying it was food this guy had eaten. Remember, professional behavior is not about just stealing, it's not about money. It can be non-monetary, but we want you to be behaving from how you dress, from whatever you do, how you speak outside here. We shall speak in a manner when people look at you, when people hear you, they say, hey, this is an accountant, and all members of 𝗲𝗃𝗃 must be like him. So you are a mirror image. Very important for us to be able to pick this. And then now we have, those are the 5 ethical standards, and they're normally examined. They're normally examined here. So the ethical standards. So we have there integrity, be honest, straightforward; objectivity, avoid bias or conflict of interest; confidentiality, protect sensitive information; professional competence, maintain knowledge and skills; professional behavior, follow laws and avoid discrediting their profession. Yeah. So when we meet in our next class, ladies and gentlemen, we shall be able to go now through these past papers, and then we go to chapter number 2. Otherwise, I think we have been able to give you enough information for this session. So it's very important. I want to take this opportunity to invite all of you to become our students at RCM College. Here, you not only get teachers, you get mentors in the process. I'm very 100% sure that you'll be able to not easily get a person of my level, coming and telling you some of these secrets, telling you that you need to do this for you to succeed. You do this and this and this and this. That is why so many people love RCM. So kindly share the handout. Somebody should be able to help Mwalimu here. Yeah, sorry if you had not taken them. I'll share them earlier on. Complete syllabus is here. So then if you'd want to join us, please call 0793 555 000. 0793 555 000. Yeah. So remember at exactly 8 p.m., we have a Thanksgiving, which I would want to invite all of you. Yeah. Address the LMS issue. We have been having a huge LMS challenge because now we are integrating our LMS with our apps. We have developed our apps. So it's a process which is ongoing, but I think now we are a bit stable. From today, you will be able to see lots of progress in terms of adding your videos. How is APFM? APFM is very, very good. We don't have APFM classes, I think, at RCM, but I know the paper is very, very good. The paper is very, very good. All right. So please make sure that you are ambassadors of RCM outside there. Do we have AFM at 8 p.m.? No 8 p.m. classes. Today we have Thanksgiving to simply come and dance, pray. Yeah. Thanks, Chris, for asking that question. Otherwise, be blessed. Bye-bye. Let's make RCM a household name. Bye. For fees, we are charging 5,200 per paper now. 5,200 per paper. Yeah, please get all those details from 0793 555 000. Retake is 4320. If you have evidence for retake, it's 4320, and that offer is ending tomorrow. Physical classes, Charlton, please come over there. You'll be able to get all the information there. Advice on unit combinations. I normally see so many people doing advanced FR, advanced FM, LM to start with. Yeah, and then they'll come and combine AMA with either tax or AMA with audit later. Location, we are based at the famous Stanbank House near National Archives, first floor. But if you would want to come and meet this Chief Ninja, I'm based at the Commonwealth House branch. Commonwealth House branch. Said, how has help behaved recently? I think they are now doing a good job. For example, they paid for some students at the beginning of this semester. Graduation in December, Joseph. Graduation December. Congratulations, Joseph, for having passed your BDA. Great. So see you at 8 p.m. Thank you so much. Bye. So Said, put